President Buhari has written to lawmakers to approve some new debt plans. And there they are on the screen. Restructuring CBN ways and means, which is approximately 22.7 trillion naira, convert to a 40-year bond at 9%, 3-year moratorium on interest, and then seeking an additional 1 trillion naira. If this is approved, it would take the total debt, if you include ways and means, to about 67 trillion naira. This is really big news, and we're happy to have Arise Business Analyst Chika Mbonu with us in the studio to discuss further. Chika, you're very welcome.
Hi.
Good to see you again, sir. Chika, what do you make of this?
Okay, I've spoken, just for our viewers, I've spoken so much about ways and means.
Yeah.
Ways and means is like a luxurious word to represent overdrafts taken by the Federal Govt of Nigeria. Now, put it this way. The central bank of every country, including Nigeria, is the banker to the government, really, the banker to the federal government. And just like any corporate, any company, any individual, occasionally your revenues that come in to enable you to cover your expenditures may not come on time. And just like also the companies also, when your revenues don't come in on time and you need to spend money, you need to go to your banks to get an overdraft or appropriate credit programs. In this case, for the Federal Govt of Nigeria, therefore, they have to go to the Central Bank of Nigeria. So the law allows the Federal Govt of Nigeria to run overdraft. I said the luxurious word, ways and means, at the Central Bank of Nigeria. So that's established. So that's legal for them to go there. Now, also the law says that in this year, for example, 2022, I use that as a benchmark year. If you want to do ways and means or the run this overdraft, it cannot be more than 5% of the revenues for the previous year.
Yes.
Which in this case, if I'm using 2022, it's not be more than revenues of the government for 2021. 5% of the revenues. Because of also that we, in lending, want to make sure that whatever you're borrowing, you're able to pay it off. And the law further goes to say that borrowing for 2022, which is, benched at 5% of the total revenue of 2021, must be paid off in 2022 revenues before the government can take any other one. And if the government does not pay it back, it cannot pay it back by issuing what? Treasury bills. Or securitize it. It's there. I think it's 38. I think 3 or 4. There. And so it's there. So a couple of things have happened now. Because of the fact that government have been running deficit expenditure. Okay, before I move on to that, the government is expected, therefore, to plan its spending and the plan is funding, very structured. That's why you hear them talk about they will issue treasury bills or bonds locally or borrow from Euro bonds. So the government is supposed to structurally, say we are spending this, so I'm going to fund it this way. Not just go to CBN and just run overdraft. But what's happened is that CBN has been, have been acquiescing. Each time that the federal government opens the curtain, they will let CBN will let the federal government in and collect to take more. And so all the compliances they have to do with paying off the current year overdraft with the previous year, current year overdraft with the current year revenue before they take another one has not been done. And so that we carry it on and carry it on and carry it over almost over the last 8 years. And it has accumulated to this amount of money. And it doesn't make good the balance sheet of central bank. So that's why this issue has come up now, that the federal government wants to securitize it, which again, I said, is against the law. Because the intention of the law is that, it's current year revenue. It must not pay it back using future revenue.
Right.
Because government must made to live within its means. That's the objective of that. If he must pay it off this from current year revenue, and he cannot pay it off through issuance of securitization or bonds and so on and so forth. But be as it may. So what I'm saying in effect is that on the face of the law, the laws have been breached.
Yeah.
But that's a base, that's a debt.
Well, what will you do?
That's a base for 20, how many, 22
trillion.
22 trillion.
Yeah.
You know, to 22.1 trillion.
Yeah.
Now, over federal government, what do you do with it?
Yeah.
Your daughter is pregnant. Or married daughter is pregnant.
You have to accept
will you reject the daughter?
No, you will not.
You're gonna accept the daughter as your daughter and find ways and means of trying to do things, you know, and don't mind my play of words, you know, and doing things. So that is why this is being done. Now, I leave it to the lawyers to find out the legal platform under which it's being done. It's gone to the National Assembly to get the approval. Maybe that's the cover they require. But you see, our National Assembly also has also been a willing partner in these things. You know, they're supposed to check things, make sure that things are done properly. But we have known this Senate led by Senator Lalawan has not been, you know, very diligent and rigorous in querying the government in these issues. But just looking at it practically, what they want to do by securitizing it cleans up the balance sheet of central bank. You know, puts the individuals and corporates now will buy those when they issue the paper at 9%. You know, which is very good in the current market. You know, it's very good by incentivize investors to do that.
Chika, you know? I just got a question coming in. Can we not say the law is unenforceable and unfit for purpose, and should the law not be scrapped? Considering where things are now.
Before we started the program, I said that, remember when we had the Good Luck and Yaradua issue? We had the issue of the doctrine of necessity.
Yes, you did say that, right?
Which
before we came on.
Was on that platform that the two houses met and said, we know that there's a fine line here. It may not be in a constitution, but let's try and, in the interest of the nation must continue. You know, and so it's in line with that.
You have to face reality.
You have to face reality. There's a debt that is there.
It has to be paid.
It has to be paid. And so one of the ways of paying, if you're waiting for the government to start any revenue to do that, I'm not sure it's going to come.
Forever.
You know, wait forever. With the deficit budgeting they are running so far. So this is one window for doing that. The issuance of the securitizing it becomes a paper, individuals and corporates will buy it. It goes off CBN balance sheets. CBN smiles, and then goes into individual hands like any bond or treasury bill that government issues. Now, but it's against the law.
That's just the fact.
I must put it there.
Despite what we think about the law itself.
About the law itself.
Chika, we've run out of time, but tomorrow we have to discuss the change in withdrawal limits.
We'll do it. We'll do it tomorrow.
Okay, you know what? Sorry, just quick summary. We'll get into too much. Just a quick, in 1 minute. My producer said we have a minute from you because we like your time.
See,
1 minute.
But I said it from Thursday. That something like the limit, is not cast in stone. And the
governor said that.
And the governor said also. Let's give it to them.
And
as the journey proceeds, we're going to look at that. Now, bro, let's leave out the motives for individuals, why they were pushing for the limits to go higher or not. Like I told some people the other day, I said that this limit is not the issue. The one that really caught people out is a new note. That's one the politicians are worried about. Because the money they collected were actually packed in the warehouse and whatever are the old notes. And the issues had to get into the banking system now. And they're hoping that they get in the banking system, at least they can get a little more. But the trickles of 100,000 a day, a week was going to kill them. So that's why everybody was pushing for it to be higher. And well, CBN has said in the interest of the nation,
let's change it.
But Jamila it so affected him so much that he had to go and see Buhari. When there's so many other issues that affected this nation, but Jamila didn't go to see Buhari. But this one was affected with their campaign and everything. We are smarter than that. Let's look at it this way.
All right, business analyst Chika. Sorry, we love having you on. Thank you for breaking down the issues for us. Appreciate it.